Today, on the early morning show, did you know that there actually were people who are addicted to pain? Let's cue the rooster and get this show started.
Every time I need that shit, devil make another.
Hey man, if you got something that you believe in and you believe that you can do it and nobody else do, just go for it. It's your life.
My life is moving fast, I gotta slow it down. Yeah, now I got it, they all come around. But when I ain't have it, they nowhere to be found. Yeah, I had to stick with the ones who stay down. And now a lot of people say I changed on them, because I'm whipping in the range on them. I don't think I'm acting different, I just found out that these folks ain't in my interest.
Morning! Today on the early morning show, we're talking about how the majority of people are addicted to pain. Now, I've counseled for over 30 years and retired from that profession, but I used to think like people like Anthony Robbins that people are addicted to pleasure. And most people think that people are addicted to pleasure, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or sex, or what have you. You think that we're addicted to pleasure? Oh, no! Most of us are addicted to pain. Whatever you do the majority of, that's what your addiction is. Not what you're doing the minority of. Minority of sex, minority of drugs, minority of alcohol. You do that in the minority, not the majority. Let's find out. Now, you see, most of us run back to pain between pleasures, between our successes. So we have a short period of time that we're successful, say like COVID, and if something happens, we run back to the pain of life. And those things are between the pleasures. Our short pleasures in life, the majority of your life was pain that you focus on. So in effect, we're not operating off of pleasures. We're operating off of pain. And the more I go on, the more you understand. You see, we are addicted to the past. We can tell people in great detail what happened to us. So when you were young, you could tell somebody, oh, when I was a kid, I was abused. When I was a kid, we grew up without. When I was a kid, they always fought me. When I was a kid, they always called me names. So we are addicted to the past, which is where the pain is generated from. Not in the present, ladies and gentlemen. So you can be doing great in the present, but your mind is focused on the pain in the past. So we are addicted. You can have a very pleasant life, but you're stuck on that your family never got along, that your parents never acknowledged you as a good person when you was a child, and so you continue to jump through hoops in life to try to please them, and you never get a chance to actually live your life in the present. I've talked to too many people, and they're doing this. Now let's go on. We use either drugs or alcohol to help us feel something after being dead for too long. When you are addicted to pain in life, or a dead life every day of the week, nothing's happening in your mind, you feel dead. And so in that painful environment, what do? We wait for Friday, take our paychecks, go to get a bottle, go to get some weed, go to get some drugs, go to pay for a prostitute, sex, whatever you have you, or the other side for the females, what they do, because you want something where you could feel again. You're addicted to pain so bad, you can't even feel your own heart again. So you have to take an artificial stimulus that comes outside of your body, not inside, to make you feel something inside again. You know, let's go on. We are afraid not to be afraid. So if everything's going good, we're fearing something's going to go bad. So we are afraid not to be afraid. I've got to stay on my toes. Why? Because if I don't stay on my toes, something horrible is going to happen. But you forget that you're living in something horrible happen. There's a famous line that says, the only reality is your reality. I talked to people for 30 years. And they said, this is a horrible day. I said, no, it's not. It's not a horrible day. That's your reality, you see. Because if that was true, on the same day somebody just had a baby, it's the greatest time of their life. Somebody just hit a scratch lottery for $10,000. Great day, you see. Somebody just went on a vacation. Great day. Somebody just lost their parents in a death. Horrible day. So we're all experiencing every thing different in the same day. So we are afraid, like I said, not to be afraid. Let's move on. We accept horrible relationships and push away better relationships. Horrible. Most people I counsel were married couples or people who were dating. They were the most horrible people for each other ever imaginable. They should have got up towards the door and run out. And the most worst relationships end with somebody dying or physically getting hurt. The cops are being called. They're separating the homes. They're divorcing the children. But because of the addiction to pain and not pleasure, we end up staying with people who are the worst for us until they take every last dime you have, until they take your soul, until they take your heart, until they make you a negative person like they were a negative person. You stay with those people. If somebody comes along that's a better person for you, you won't go with those people. Why? You say, they can't be real. There's no flaws in them. They're not a horrible person. They must be faking something. You become so long addicted to a horrible situation that you think anybody else, it just can't be decent because they are faking it. Okay, move right along. We accept our nightmares and dismiss our dreams. So if you went to sleep and you had a nightmare in the future, somebody shot you, bam, you would always watch out for that one person or that particular area, that thing happening. But if you went to sleep and you had a dream in the future that you were wealthy and everything turned out okay and everything was great, you're like, hey, that was just a dream I had last night. So the addiction to pain will make us accept something horrible and dismiss something great. An example, because you are addicted so much to negativity in life and pain, for your whole life, people could call you names. That's why you suck. That's why you're ugly. That's why you're stupid. And you accept that. You may defend that, but you accept it. After all of that training and that pain, somebody comes along and likes you. They said, you are very attractive. You're a very smart person. You're a very decent person. And you will push them off. Oh, no. Oh, not me. Not me. Oh, no. Not me. I'm not that type person. I wish I was, but I'm not the type person. All right, let's go on. We choose mates when we feel the lowest in life. And I've taught this for 30 years. Most of us, if you can find your mate right now, if you're married or if you're dating somebody, humans have cycles all year long with their most positive and low times. Okay? Some people have positive times in cold months. Some people have positive times in the hot months. Now, this is a cycle we run for our whole life until you catch on that you're doing this. But when you're at your lowest in life, that's when most people choose a mate. Subconsciously. You don't know you're doing it, but most of us will go out when we're low in life, we find somebody who is not exactly good for us, but they accept us for who we are, messed up how we are, and we take those people in. We're like, my life has been great since this woman or this man has come into my life. It's been so great. And we actually choose people not when we're on top of life, but when we are low. Even if you say that you are wealthy and you chose somebody when you're wealthy, when you were wealthy, that was the saddest portion of your life you felt. You felt alone and that somebody needed to come in and help fill that loneliness. So we actually choose people when we are lowest in life. Okay, let's move on. We accept that we are ugly, like I said before, and deny that we're attractive. Okay? Not me, somebody else. Now, when we go down in life, we try to get what we lost, not what we could gain. So, take this COVID time period. A lot of people lost their jobs. Bam, right off the bat, they lost their jobs. It's the first time in life they faced that. They left their parents' house 10 years before, never went into a problem. And that's what the problem was. They never faced life. So when they lost their home or their apartment, they lost their car, they lost their salary, they may have had to go to a homeless shelter, they may have had to go out to the street, they may have had to go live with their parents again, their brothers and sisters that didn't respect them, their aunts and uncles that didn't want them in there. And they felt down. So when we go down in life, we try to get what we lost. So you say, when I come back up again, I'm going to get my own apartment. I'm going to get me a car like I had, the Nissan car that I had. I'm going to get me the clothes that I lost. I'm going to get me my cell phone. I like that one particular brand I lost. You try to get what you lost. That's an addiction to pain. Okay? You don't try to get what you could better. So if you had an apartment, you said, this time I'm going for a house. If you had a Nissan, this time I'm going for a Cadillac. See, people don't do that. Whatever you lost, even in childhood, people try to get back what they lost. That's a source of pain. You will never know pleasure until you try to get something you do not have. When babies and little children are small, they always try to get something they don't have. See, a 5-year-old is not going to try to get a pacifier. And what a 15-year-old has is not going to try to get what a 5-year-old has. But at a certain age you get where you try to recover what you lost. You never gain any more. You just try to hold on even to what you have or what you lost. That is addicted to pain. So, moving on. We make lifetime decisions in our lowest moments and stall for great decisions in our high moments. So when you feel down in life, like I said, when you choose a mate, or when you choose a new job, that's not good for you. Or when you choose, I'm going to get up and leave here, even though I don't have enough support on the other side, I'm going there. We make some of the most lifetime decisions, most critical decisions, at our lowest point in life. So when you're addicted to pain, you make bad decisions. But if you are on top of the world, and all you have to do is go another step higher, you would vacillate, never making your mind. Okay, just going around in circles. I'm not going to make a decision. I make a decision, I may lose. Actually, by not making a decision, you are going to lose. And a lot of us, what we do in life, I've counseled a lot of people, and they wonder why their life is stalling. As a matter of fact, not only does it stall, it goes backwards until they have what they had when they left home, or nothing at all. They're broke. And they ask, how does that happen to me? I say, it happens to you because you planned that way. And they're shocked. I didn't plan this. Yes, you did. Because what you did when you were small and you grew up in a home for 18 years, your parents did not have enough of something, then your mind sight saw that as your future. So even though you struggle to make it on your own, I'm not going to be like my parents, I'm not going to be poor, I'm not going to be without, I'm always going to have enough to eat. You're still struggling against a past that did not belong to you. You're struggling against a pain. And your life will manifest that same thing that they went through so when you stall to make a decision at a high point, you lose. And you progressively lose until you have nothing, until you're back in the same neighborhood or back in the same type of life that your parents had. Because your mind sees this as the norm, not the abnormal. So if you look at somebody else and they have more than you do, it's not because they do, it's because their normal when they were a child was different than your normal. So if they have more than you do, maybe their parents had more than your parents did. So they seen that as a norm, not as something great, but as a norm. So if their parents were millionaires, they might have wanted to be a billionaire. So they'll make $1 million, but they may never make $1 billion. Move right along. Now, the last time most of us were addicted to pleasure, and a lot of motivational speakers try to tell you, we're addicted to pleasure, move away from pain to pleasure. No, we don't. Move away from pain to pleasure momentarily and then right back to pain. So the last time we were actually addicted to pain was as a child. When you were a child, we all were addicted to pleasure. Children run away from pain. They don't want to get a whooping. They want to get a spanking. They want to be corrected. They don't want their toys taken away. So children actually do, up to a certain age, move away from pain towards pleasure. But that's not reality. That's not real life. That's why when you leave home at 18, if something happens, it collapses your whole world because parents try to make sure the children don't go through anything for real. So when this COVID environment, or in 2008 when the stock market crash, or the housing bubble, or this college bubble that's coming about, you think that stuff is something you cannot recover from, and then you collapse. And a new millennial generation, you go inside of a bedroom, you'll draw the shades, and you'll never come out. You won't even eat. You may eat noodles. You won't even prepare food. You order food from fast food joints to the house. You're living a hobbit life like an old 96-year-old woman with cats. So, understand, if you are this way in life right now, understand you are addicted to pain. Where you came from, that pain in childhood, where your parents were, that pain. What you went through that was devastating in life. Instead of moving forward, you progressively, with strength, moving backwards. If you're in a negative relationship that you don't like, that's a painful relationship. You're addicted to that. You can't imagine getting out of that to pleasure. If you are on a job you don't like, if you're at McDonald's and you want to be the CEO of IBM, but you say, I'm not good enough for that job. I am addicted to the pain of McDonald's and not to the pleasure of a Learjet. as the CEO of that corporation. Understand this. Thank you for watching the Early Morning Show. Make sure you hit the like button on the channel. Donate at the top of the page. You can donate to this channel to keep us going and bring us new shows that you enjoy all the time. And tomorrow, go out. Find out where you are addicted to pain and you thought it was pleasure. Find out on Friday if you enjoy yourself with your paycheck. I'm going to buy some liquor. And there's nothing wrong with that. Buy some beer. I enjoy liquor and beer. But not to cover pain. Find out what you do to anesthetize your pain temporarily. Because as long as you got a liver, it's going to clear out alcohol, beer, dope, marijuana. It's going to clear it out. So you won't enjoy that for a short amount of time. But find out what you do because you're living most of your 365 in pain. Maybe a short few days in pleasure. Try to stretch out your pleasure to 365 and just keep your pain a few days a year. This is Charles Rivers for the Early Morning Show. Always enjoy having you with you. Come back and see us again next time. Thank you.
California dreaming, California scheming, California is the reason for this golden state of mind. California dreaming, California scheming, California is the reason for this golden state of mind. Open mind and you'll find what you've been missing. Please don't waste my time and never try to tell me different. There I go again, ignoring my own advice. But take my word for it, man, I've been living nice. Like the bottom of some skis on a January morning. Up in Aspen, sipping cocoa. I prefer my women foreign. Don't disturb me if I'm snoring, let me be. Cause you gotta get your rest to be a king. I would not expand your mind, girl, you too fine not to. Don't let me leave with someone that is not you.